Some basics to begin with. The views have changed. So when you click on the clapperboard, you've got these camera angles, standard views, and scenes. Open standard views, and you've got a front view. Then you can go to isometric, and then you can go to the north, the west. So these will be your other side views. Bearing in mind this is the horizon. So when you look at the top, which one's the top? That one. Then there's no horizon. But when you're looking at a side view, there's a horizon. So start off on your isometric view. How you do this is kind of up to you. Let's swivel that round because I like it like that. The blue and the red. So I'm going to go for, in the beginning, I'm going to go for a line. So use my line tool, and I'm going to click on the center origin and then go north. 300, so just type 300 and hit enter, and that'll give you a good starting point. If you then click the extents tool, zoom extents, then that goes into the size of the line, and just hit escape. So zoom out a bit, and you can see that that's the height of a bottle. So what I want to do next is I'm going to have a look at the front, and I'm going to put the camera angle onto parallel projection, which gets rid of the horizon. And the horizon's here on this line here. There's no perspective on it whatsoever. So whatever bottle shape you've got, let's take an ordinary twist off cap. So click, and then you don't want to make, because there's no bottle top on this one, so you don't want to make that part too big. Then you can zoom in, and then you can kind of decide what to do from your design ideas. There might be a small lip there, it might come down, it might come out. Now, it depends what bottle shape you have, but you could put a small line there, and then you could then go to the 3 dots, and you could pick on a 2-point arc, zoom in. Now let's say you wanted to smooth off this edge. Click, and then click again, and then you can see in the middle the arc goes pink. Double click, and it gives you a nice little curve. I'm just going to zoom back out now, and I'm going to carry on with my line. Use the pan tool just to go up. So I'm going to carry on with my line. It's going to be quite a tall box. Maybe 300 is a bit too tall, but we'll see. So I'll carry on with my line, and it might come out still. It might go flat, and then it might come in a little bit. Zoom in, then it might come in. Hold onto the origin, and then just slide across. Yeah, let's say I got that there, and then another line. Now you'll notice that it fills it white. It's kind of sealed. So I'm going to leave it like that, and then just press on the ISO. So there's the basics of my bottle. The next thing to do is to try and rotate it. So to begin with, I'm going to offset, and then click on the center, and then drag. And then what will happen is you'll find that you'll be able to make that's pretty thin. So if I zoom in just a little bit, I can internally offset. I'll just pan down, make sure I got that top okay, hit escape. So I'm going to just internally offset like that. Now look at your front view and zoom in, and now I'm going to put an alpha line across there. And then, oops, that's not straight. So just use the eraser. Take out that line, alpha line, and then go across. Yep. And then come back down. So just use your pan tool. Up we go. And then do another line, L, across there. Now use your erase to take out these 2 vertical lines, just to leave you with the profile of that. And then turn it a little bit if you want. Use the orbit tool. Now The next bit is pretty easy, and you can draw a circle and click on the center, make sure it's on blue, and then drag it to the edge and use what they call the follow me tool, which is that one. And you'd like this profile, so click in the center, to be followed, and then just follow with your pointer all the way around until you get to this, back to the origin, and press. So there's your bottle. So mine's a bit big, I'm a bit chunky. So you got to get those proportions right. And then we're going to just have a look back at ISO, isometric, and then just have a look at the front. So I've got this pretty chunky box, and I'll just use my zoom and pan bottle. All right, so there's your basic. Okay, next bit, press on ISO and then use the select and then triple click and then right click or 2-finger click and then make it a component and then just call it main bottle. There you go. So now you can't really do much with this. You can edit it, and I'll show you that later. Now, to do a bottle top on here, you can, well actually I'll show you the materials first. So materials, and you can then color your bottle. But let's go and have a look at the styles. Let's click on search. Let's go to default styles, and you're going to select the X-ray. And then you can go to the colors, and then you can decide on what colors you want for your box. So click on search, and then you can come down to glass and mirrors. So that might be one you might use. And then let's have a look at what this one does. So click, and then just put that onto there, or click, and then just try that one. Is that going to work on there? Not on that one. So go back to styles, click on the main one, and let's just have a look at that again. And then click, and then you can put the different types on for each one of these. Okay, but I think what will work best will be going back here to your styles and leaving it in the X-ray, and I'm going to figure out what's going to look better as we move along a little bit with this project. So let's go back to colors. Let's get some, let's say I wanted a orangey style one, and then you can do it on all the individual faces that you want, and then maybe you've got a darker one on here. Okay, whatever you want it to be. Okay, next is to have a look at just the front view, and then you can change, maybe that will be able to change, and you can have a look at different types. There's colors, then come back down. I think if you have a look at maybe metal, that might give a slightly different pattern. What's that going to do? Okay, so you can have a little look and a little mess around, and you can figure out what looks best. Have we got shadows 2, shadows on? That might make it different as well. Shadows on, shadows off, and you can change the light, and you can make it darker, and then you can turn your shadows on and off. So you decide what you want for your bottle. So the next is the lid. So go to reviews and click on your isometric. So now I would like to put on the top. So I'm going to put on here to begin with a circle. So create a circle, and I'm going to do it on the bottom, and I'm just going to drag out, doesn't matter, to begin with, and then just extrude the top of the bottle like so. I'm going to turn off my shadows. So there we go. So that bottle, if we then triple click, right click, make a component, and then call that the top, we can then move that. So look at your views again, and then look at your front view. So now what we can do is we can select the move arrows, click on the edge corner, and now we can move that up into that area, like so. Now, have we got that central? So then you can start looking at the other side. Again, you can start to zoom in, and then you can just move that into the correct position. So key and then look at the back, then look at the left. It needs just moving a little bit. There you go. So when you, by the time you've gone from each one, it should be pretty central. There you go. And if you just go back to the normal look of the box, I keep saying box, and then just hit select and then click off, then you should be able to then see all the different, go back to X-ray and then press and find your isometric view. Okay, and then you can work from there as to what colours you want to put on. So click and then just drag and then click for whichever views, whichever colours you want on your bottle. Again, and then watch for your views, look at your front, and then just go to zoom extents, and it will bring your whole bottle back into shape. Okay, so that gives you the basics of your bottle shape and how to do two components.